One of the biggest offseason moves you made, the signing of Bartolo Colon. This guy's a veteran. What does he bring to you, Terry, both on the baseball field and off it?
Well, he brings two things. Number one, obviously, he's an outstanding pitcher. He's having probably the best years of his career right now. But the one thing I think he's going to do for us is he's going to show those young pitchers who got these great power arms, as he had at one time. You know, Bartolo Colon, last time I saw him pitch live, he pitched against me when I was managing the Angels. Last pitch of the game was 98 miles an hour. So he was one of those kind of guys. But now he's basically a one-pitch pitcher. The sinker, he moves it in and out, up and down, one pitch. He commands it. And if those young guys do anything, if they pay attention, they realize, listen, I got a great arm, but if I can command my stuff like this guy, I got a chance to be special.
Jon Niese has grown over the last few years. As you look at him, Terry, what separates him at this point from becoming an elite pitcher?
Well, I think Jon's really on the cusp of being an elite pitcher. I think Jon, in the last few years, has really learned how to mix up his stuff and become the complete pitcher. There were times, I know, when I first came to the New York Mets where all they could talk about was Jon Niese's curveball, Jon Niese's curveball. Well, you know what? He's got a good cutter now. He's learned a two-seam fastball that's gotten him a lot of ground ball outs. He no longer tries to strike guys out. He pitches to contact, and I think after coming back from the shoulder problems he had in midseason, he pitched very, very well at the end of the season. And he's going to be he's right now, you know, he's the ace of this staff. He's the big piece of our puzzle.
So with that having been said, is it fair to say he'll, in your mind right now, be the opening day starter?
Well, you know, we got to lean towards that for sure. I always like to reward the guys that were here, and certainly I got to take Dylan G into consideration. He had another fine year, and so we'll see how spring training goes. But I'm kind of leaning towards Jon.
What about the bullpen? As you go to spring training, it seems the bullpen's got a lot of question marks. Terry, is it one of your bigger concerns at the moment?
Well, it's been it's been one of the issues in the last 3 years that we've continued to try to tweak it and get better at it. I think the emergence of Bobby Parnell last year, what we saw, is a big piece. And coming off his surgery, I've been in Florida with him. He looks great, although he's not throwing off the mound yet. He looks great. But what we have down there, and it reminds a lot of people about the Cardinals. We've got 4 or 5 guys going to come in spring training with power arms. Yes, they're young. Yes, they're inexperienced. But, if we do the job right and get to have those guys throw strikes and trust their stuff and, let the defense play behind them, I think we got a chance to be real good out there.
I was going to ask you, would you think about doing what the Cardinals have done, is take some of those young arms and put them in the bullpen?
I think we can do that. I'm not sure. Obviously, I don't think you want to do it with Syndergaard.
Right.
But there's be a few of those other guys out there that are down there coming up that we're going to have in our camp with those very, very good arms. That a lot of the scouts, a lot of our minor league people think, hey, we think this guy is going to one day pitch out of the bullpen. So if we have to, start the clock early, we start the clock early.
Biggest concerns, biggest things you need to have happen to have success in 2014.
Well, it goes back to the one thing: we got to stay healthy. You look at the roster, and I have a board in my office in Florida where, I have all the names that are coming to spring training. I sit there every day and try to piece it together. And again, we have young depth. Our bench, we don't have a lot of veterans on our bench. So our everyday lineup, which has some quality major league people, we've got to keep them on the field. We can't go, 6 weeks without David Wright or 6 weeks without Curtis Granderson. If they get hurt and they're out 15 days and come back, you can get through that. But when you start losing guys for 2 months or 3 months, they're tough to replace, and especially some of our guys.